Who can you trust in the age of mis and disinformation? We live in a world of constant distractions. Every company and influencer is competing for your attention 24/7. There's literally no escape unless you toss your phone in the trash and bury your head in the sand. We're not going to do that, at least not yet. Some people believe there's a sinister agenda playing out right now, a mass psyop meant to get you to fixate on petty gossip and menial gripes. Many think it's being perpetuated by some of your favorite content creators, whether knowingly or not, on behalf of a rogue deep state. The reason? The more you engage in low-vibe activities, the more you lose perspective, the more you lose control of your emotions, and eventually, you lose your identity. Your energy gets depleted, and you become what they want you to become: fearful, agitated, and primed for programming. Even if all of this is true, you have the power to block out the noise and tune into joy. Your focus, intentions, and enthusiasm play a huge role in what you experience. But since we're all humans, we all need a little guidance on our journeys. So today, I'm going to highlight 4 people whose teachings I absolutely love and resonate with. Of course, there are many people who have made a positive impact on me, but what I like about these 4 is they each represent a unique category of guidance. Most importantly, they want you to flourish and grow because they know, just like I do, that your triumph and happiness elevates the frequency of the planet and brings more light and beauty to the world. When you find the right guide, you don't just learn, you rediscover sacred truths. I think you're going to love my list, but if I left anyone off, let me know in the comments. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to share 2 unconventional guides who offer incredible wisdom in non-traditional mediums. But first, welcome back to Harmonic Convergence, a journey through the emotional, spiritual, and energetic phases of awakening. Right now, we're in Chapter 3, Trust. So what makes a good spiritual teacher? First, you have to deeply resonate with them. It doesn't matter how popular they are or how many subscribers they have. If you feel their wisdom is beneficial, trust it. Second, good teachers meet you where you are, not where they think you should be. They don't rush you through processes you're not ready for. They create a bridge from where you are to where you're going. Third, they encourage your own inner authority rather than creating dependency. If they claim that they're your only path to truth, if they discourage questioning or foster an us versus them mentality, those are big red flags. And finally, they walk their talk. You can feel authenticity. There's no performing with enlightenment. Authentic people live their truth and share what genuinely works for them. So the goal isn't to find a perfect teacher. It's to find guides who can help you access what's already within you. The first guide on my list is Esther Hicks, often referred to as Abraham. That's because Abraham is the name of the group of entities that Esther channels. Now, whether you believe in channeling or not, there's no denying the powerful impact that Abraham has had on thousands and thousands of people. The concept of the law of attraction is credited to her, as is the foundation behind the popular book and movie, The Secret, even though she wasn't officially a part of it. Now, what I love about Abraham's teachings is the focus on joy-based alignment and high vibrational living. Her approach is optimistic, and she empowers you to become your own authority by tuning into your emotional compass rather than relying on external validation. She teaches that the feeling tone, the emotional quality of your thoughts, dictates the outcome, and that feelings of gratitude, excitement, and joy attract abundance. Now, this perfectly aligns with how I approach reality creation, from a high vibe space. Now, Abraham doesn't just teach the law of attraction. She teaches how to live from a place of genuine excitement and appreciation. Her core message is simple. When you align with the energy of your desires, they will manifest. If you tend to overthink or get caught up in the how of manifesting, Abraham's approach can be transformative. There are several channels on YouTube where people share her advice. Now, most of them animate her and have her walking through a park answering questions. So not only are they insightful, but they're visually engaging and sometimes funny. The second guide I'd like to share with you is Aaron Doughty, who bridges the mystical with the practical in a way that makes spiritual concepts accessible and actionable. What I love about Aaron is his focus on identity and belief systems. He breaks down how our self-concept creates our reality. Plus, he offers specific techniques for how to shift limiting beliefs. He takes law of attraction beyond just thinking positive thoughts and gets into the deeper work of transforming who you believe you are. Aaron also does a great job of explaining the psychological mechanisms behind spiritual concepts. He'll talk about the reticular activating system when discussing manifestation, or explain trauma responses when talking about resistance. I recommend Aaron Doughty for people who need the practical steps, who want to understand the how behind spiritual principles, and especially for those who might be skeptical of purely mystical approaches. If you're transitioning from traditional self-help to spirituality, Aaron Doughty is the perfect bridge. My third recommended guide is Aaron Abke. This Aaron was raised as a devout Christian and even became a pastor for a few years until he witnessed the hypocrisy of the church firsthand, which caused him to go on an epic journey of self-discovery. The process helped him distinguish the difference between religious dogma and universal truth. Aaron specializes in the law of one, which is channeled information about the nature of reality. He also teaches how to live from the heart, what he calls fourth density consciousness. Now, what I appreciate most about him is his discernment. He doesn't just accept spiritual information blindly. He filters everything through both logic and intuition. Aaron shows that you can honor the wisdoms in religious traditions while releasing the fear-based control structures. Now, I appreciate his scholarly approach to the Bible and how he contextualizes Christ consciousness. He strips away the guilt and the punishment to reveal the mystical truths. Spoiler alert, it's all about love. Love God with all your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. Aaron believes that Jesus' teachings have been hijacked over the years. He believes that Jesus came to empower us, not to make us feel inadequate. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Greater works than these you will do. This kind of approach opens minds and creates space for deeper conversations about what Jesus really taught. Aaron Abke's work is excellent for people who are deconstructing traditional religion and discovering larger truths. My fourth guide is Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe brings a scientific credibility to consciousness. His focus on heart-mind coherence and the neuroscience behind transformation makes spiritual concepts tangible and measurable. What I love about Dr. Joe is he explains exactly what's happening in your brain and in your body when you're doing consciousness work. He shares the science behind meditation, manifestation, and emotional regulation. For people who need proof, Dr. Joe provides it. His work on breaking the habit of being yourself and becoming your future self is incredibly powerful. He gives you the understanding of why change is so hard and the specific steps one must take to create new neural pathways and new habits. Joe's approach involves intense meditation and a real commitment to doing the work. Many people who've attended his workshops have healed severe medical conditions, some even life-threatening. We're talking Parkinson's, Hashimoto's, autoimmune disorders, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, and even cancer. When I healed my craniopharyngioma, which is a benign but deadly brain tumor, I followed many of the same meditative practices: energetic de- and reconstruction, pushing into the void, into the quantum field, and healing from there. Only I did it intuitively since I didn't even know who Dr. Joe was at the time, which could have saved me a ton of heartache, but nevertheless, I got through it. And it proves the point that we all have the ability to dial into higher realms and realign with the divine. I recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza for those who are ready to commit to serious daily practice, and for anyone who wants to understand the physical mechanisms of consciousness change. So now, for your bonus. I'm going to share 2 unconventional guides that I absolutely love. The first one is Maylan Moritz. Maylan is a singer and a spiritual teacher. Her music is less something that you listen to and more something that you surrender into. Her voice and soundscapes operate like a bridge between worlds, guiding the listener from the density of thought into the spaciousness of being. What makes her music healing isn't just its beauty, but its intention. Every melodic phrase carries a vibration of unconditional love, a frequency that helps release stored tension and resistance, which allows our nervous systems to reset. Maylan also teaches spiritual concepts on her app. However, I believe that her wisdom can be heard and felt in her music alone, which you can find right here on YouTube. My second unconventional guide is comedian and podcaster Dave Neal. Dave covers pop culture and news on his show The Rush Hour, twice a day, every day. In fact, I don't think he's taken a day off in 5 years. What makes him so unique is that he brings spiritual awareness to current events. Dave always tries to find the light in the dark and the humor in the madness. But when he sees bad faith arguments, atrocities, and abuses of power, he calls them out, bravely and boldly. At his core, Dave is a kind, compassionate soul who understands the key components of reality creation: law of attraction, gratitude, offering grace to others, and following your bliss. What I love most about him is not only is he entertaining, but he's spiritually aware without being spiritually superior. Plus, he's a big fan of the All-American Rejects, as am I. And he's a believer in Bigfoot, which I am as well, especially since I had a brief encounter in Northern California. If you want to hear more about it, Dave, hit me up. Dave Neal's approach to pop culture shows that you can find empowering wisdom anywhere, even on a podcast. The most important thing to remember is that you have an inner guidance system that's more reliable than any external teacher. The guides that I just listed are meant to help you strengthen your connection to that inner knowing, not replace it. Trust yourself to recognize the teachers who are best for you. Trust that you'll find exactly the guidance you need when you need it. That is the trust frequency at work. So now I'd love to hear about the teachers who have shaped your life. Let me know in the comments if I left anyone off my list who should have made the top 4. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, namaste.